Hey guys, this is Gremlin. I'm one of the community members of the StarDust Emu server. I wanted to make a quick video on kind of getting your feet wet, jumping into the game for the first time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a character. I'm going to show you guys what you need to do, some options, and how to kind of really just get started in StarDust. And I'll touch on a couple things that make StarDust different and unique among the emulator servers. So I'm already in an account right now. You just have to create an account on the StarDust website and register. So let's make a character. So there's it's pretty standard for the character creation here. Nothing has really changed. No new races or anything like that. Just same old vanilla stuff. So just for simplicity's sake, I am going to make a Zabrak, and we're just gonna randomize them a little bit, and all that can be changed later on by a image designer, just like other emulator servers. So I was thinking what would be fun would be showing you guys how a brawler holds up. So I'm gonna make a fresh Grim and jump in. Now this server is a little bit different from others because it doesn't have a mind pool or mind stats. This is just a quick note that you can only create or delete a character. Will set you on a 1 hour lockout timer, so make sure you have at least an hour of gameplay before deleting the character. Now first off, I want to go over, so the controls are a little bit different. This is like old school MMO controls. I'm right clicking right now to run around, and I kind of hate it. So let me open up the options. We're going to go to controls and then key map. Now this is going to help a lot of people out that aren't familiar with this. Switch it from load standard map to from Star Wars Galaxies to first person shooter. It's going to ask you to override, say yes. And we also want, no mouse pointer, and it's very important to turn chase camera off because that will mess up some following commands. I always just go through and clear this bind and then reset this to a different bind that I have. And make sure you hit apply, otherwise nothing will save. There's a bunch of other interface options. I'm not really going to go into that just yet. I'll try and open up everything that I need to if that arises. So unlike other emulator servers, this one kind of only has one starting destination. This is Isley, so we're just going to jump in. And one of the unique things about StarDust is that when you do start with not only the normal melon and survival knife, but you also start with a full set of 35% bone armor. So every character that you make has this bone armor, so just keep that in mind when making, Wookiees or Ithidorians or Trandoshans. Trandoshans can't wear feet or hand armor or boots, and Wookiees can't wear bone armor at all. So what I'm going to do, just going to go ahead and pull this out and throw that on my toolbar. Now, so you just landed in Isley. The best thing to do, and I'm just going to head in this easterly direction, or westerly direction, go to Moss StarDust. Moss StarDust is kind of the new player hub. So you're going to be able to find all the beginner stuff that you need, and then there's more advanced cities, player cities off of Tatooine to get more, weapons, materials, and things like that. So while we're driving over there, we can go over a couple of the differences between StarDust and other servers. So, like I said before, there's no mind stat, so it's just action, health. And how buffing works on the server is that only doctors can buff health, only the health stat, no substats, and then only entertainers buff action. And again, it's only the action, no substats. The rest of the substats you can get buffed, but that's pretty much exclusively through food and stims and spices, things like that. So we're already coming up on some of the outskirts of the town. You can see that someone's got some pirate armor weaver and stuff. Oh, that's also something that is different for the server. There is a kind of a hybrid between tailor and armor smith. It's called armor weaver. It lets you get it lets you actually build armored clothing. So the stats aren't as wonderful as armor smith, but you know, it's pretty good, and you can get some pretty interesting combinations and, you know, look pretty cool. So it's very good to like middle of the road to, you know, higher end tier. But you know, if you want the highest tier things, you got to go with armor smith. So that is one of the things that are unique to the server. I don't have pants right now because it looked like it bugged. It's an easy fix, you just have to relog, but we're not going to do that. So first thing we want to do is go and get one of these mouse droids. This vendor is usually always stocked full of mouse droids. Hopefully, there we go. They're super cheap, and they're designed for new players, pretty much. So we're going to call this, and I'm going to explain why the mouse droid is important. So let me turn off the overhead map. And let's go ahead and program this. So I'm going to hit program, go to group, I type G for group, now it knows the command, and then I'm also going to do stay. So S for stay, and then we can group and tell them to stay. So how this server works is, you know, by grouping you do get higher level missions, but if you group with players and they aren't around to do the missions, they aren't in range or something like that, the credits still split, but you know, their half the credits just go to the server. They just disappear. So you can by all means still group with players, but try and stay in the general vicinity of them so that you can all get credits and whatnot. So the other thing about the grouper droid, so grouping experience is increased by like 10 or 8 times the experience of normal, so it's always important, especially when you're leveling, to be grouped with something. So if we group with a droid or faction NPCs or creature pets or things like that, it will give you the group bonus and give you higher missions, but it won't take your credits from your wallet. So I'm just going to grab a couple missions here, and we're gonna go the southwest direction. So I'm just gonna grab, let's just grab a couple, hop on our bikes and go. So like I said, I'm gonna do fencer. So let's get on the bike and go. So make sure we are gonna equip a survival knife that counts as one-handed weapon, and we're gonna go kill some things. So I'm just going to take this time to put some actions on my bar. By default, it's like this, but you can always increase it just by hovering over this and moving it up and down. And let's, what are we, one-handed. So let's put on one-handed lunge, remove the rest of those. So a couple things about the server. Jedi is in a pretty good place, I would say, on the server. It's not crazy overpowered or anything like that. It's kind of balanced around the rest of the classes. So it's not ridiculous, but you know, it is very good PvE for PvE content, but you know, it's not the best for PvP, which is great. It does make it a little bit more balanced. It's less of an alpha class and more of a, you know, fantasy, you know, laser sword wielding swordsman kind of thing. So the process for that, so on the server it is the village. It takes about 6 weeks to unlock a Jedi after you do the normal glowy steps. Those steps are on the website from the wiki if you want to take a look at them. There were some, it's vanilla, I would say vanilla plus. You know, some things were added, more POIs, things like that were added. So, oh, not down. So pretty much just kill these dudes. And then we're going to level up. Oh, speaking of, let me move this around a little. Turn this on. I'm going to do show experience monitor, and then we can actually track our experience, and you can make this bigger. So we're going to put this there. Move this around. Alright. And that's my first kill. So the bone armor does make a big difference, so it's great, you know, being able to start off with bone armor, so you don't have to worry too much about other things, and you know, getting incapacitated every 30 seconds or something like that. So what I'm going to do, I'll go ahead and kill all these, kind of fast forward through the video a little bit, and we're going to show you training and whatnot as soon as I get a little bit more XP. Alright, so that's actually going to take a little too long, so don't want to do that right now. So what I'm going to do is just peace out, run away, and we're going to train, because the more training you have, the more damage you do, and the more access you have to different skills that will do more damage. And I'll also go ahead and pick up another weapon too. So I've got about 2,000 credits, might be enough for a starter weapon. We'll see. And I'll also give you give you a chance to see how buffing works. Oh, also, I did wanna. So what is kind of unique to the server? Well, not unique, but you know there are a couple servers that do that, but not many. If you open this up a little bit, oops, let's open this. There's a tab by default called Galaxy Chat. And this actually links to our Discord. So in purple, you'll see that there are, those are people that are actually typing in Discord, and then in kind of orangey gold, there's people that are typing in game, and they can see each other, they can type, so you can always be connected to the galaxy and talk with everyone else. So I think it's a great little tweak that's been done. Alright, so we're coming back to StarDust, and we're going to get some training. So how training works, it's not any different from any of the other emulators, but those who aren't familiar with Star Wars, there's two ways that you can get training. There's trainers here, you see them all. So you can go and we can find a brawler trainer, because that's what I'm going to be training. This is what brawler. I have one-handed XP. This is filled up, so I want to train this box. And so the brawler trainer is somewhere here. Here, brawler trainer. Let's get rid of that map. So you can just say, I'm interested in learning skills. It'll say which one, and it'll tell you how much it costs. Now, I'm not going to do that here because there is another way, a free way, which is great. So normally, instead of training, I would always recommend just saying something in Galaxy Chat. But I also have a character right here, so I'm going to invite him to the group. Let's pretend he was in Galaxy Chat and said, hey, I could train you. So he's going to come over, and you can radio on the person, and you'll have a little thing that says teach. You just click that, and it'll give you a box that says like all the things that you can teach them. So he's going to teach me sword, one-handed sword technique. So I'm going to say, yes, I do want that, and I have one-handed sword technique for free. So that works for pretty much all the boxes, including Master. The only thing that you do have to go find a trainer for is if you want to pick up a novice box. So say I want to get Fencer Novice, I have to go find a trainer, a Fencer trainer, and train that. But everything else can be taught by other players, and it's a great way to save your money and connect with other players. So just for the sake of speed, on my other tune, I'm going to tip myself some money. Let's say 10,000. Alright. So tip myself 10,000, and I'm going to show you how some of the buff systems work. Now, there are 2 buff systems in this server. Some of the cantinas, I would say a good lot of the cantinas, NPC cantinas that is, in the ones in cities and whatnot, have these little droids here. They are enhancement droids. Since this is kind of the new player city, this has an enhancement droid too, but usually they're only in bigger NPC cities, in the medical centers. So we can talk to him. 5,000 credits. We say yes, enhance my thing. So this is, you can see that this is kind of mid to low level buff stat, but it's great for just leveling. So it only buffed me by 1,500. Other buffs, player buffs, are between 1,900 to over 2,000 easily. So and then we're going to drop group real quick, and I'm going to show you entertainer. So there's a number of different entertainer bots around. These are all player made bots, and for the most part it's just send a tell to Donna, and they will send you a group invite. So once you're grouped, you can listen to them. So on this server, it will not only will it heal your battle fatigue, but it'll actually also heal your wounds. So that's something different. You only have to listen to them for about a minute. Like, you can say that they're spamming here. And this entertainer does have some more information in her bio about the server and things like that. So like I said before, this whole area is really geared toward new people that aren't familiar with the game or aren't familiar with the server, so they can just jump in and kind of see what the game has to offer. So as soon as this hits a minute, which is probably about now. Well, we'll just wait and talk about a little bit more. I'm trying to think of some other things that were unique to the server. The crafting system. Oh, that's another thing. Crafting has been changed on the server. So when you actually go into crafting, we'll see. There are certain recipes that have been buffed, and that's kind of like the grind recipe. So let's see, which one would be. So for Scout, for example, I believe. So, for example, camping survival is a nightmare on most servers. So we actually buffed this multi-person camp. This gives a ton of survival experience, and so you could be able to craft them and get, you know, 10 times the amount of XP that you would normally. So that's a great way to level up characters really quick, and that goes for all crafting. All crafting has a schematic that has been increased significantly. For example, medic. Let's open up medic. Medic. There's two kinds of crafting that you can get for medic. That's another thing that's changed. You can craft medical experience. So if you want to get medicine crafting experience, you would just craft. Where are they? You would craft bio effect controllers, and you can just craft these. And then once you get to advanced biological effect controllers, those are the ones that have the boost to them. So you'll be getting like 10 times the XP by crafting biological effect controllers. So that's for medical crafting, and then for actual medical experience, the rest of this, you can heal, but tumbling doesn't work on the server, so we kind of had to figure out a different way to do that. So what we did was we added medical experience to crafting liquid suspensions. So you can craft liquid suspensions, and again, the advanced liquid suspensions are the ones with the buff to them. So as soon as you hit this advanced liquid suspensions, you're going to get like 10 times the amount of medical experience. And then the other thing I would say that changed is entertainer experience. Same thing as before. Instead of sitting here and grinding by just being AFK and whatnot, you can actually craft through it. It's not really a big deal. You can craft. I believe Sylph horns give entertainer experience, and then once you get up to the different instruments that give either dancing experience or medical or entertaining healing experience, things like that. So, you just need to go get a couple resources, and you'll be able to have a master entertainer, master dancer, whatever, in short order. So, I believe this is plenty of experience or plenty of time for the buff. So I'm going to stop watching. Now, it's very important that you stop watching before you leave group, or just run out of range if it doesn't work. Just run out of range. It'll say that you're stop watching, stop listening, and then you can leave the group. If you don't do that, you won't get the buff. So, and then I'm just going to show you the mall real quick. This is, like I said before, this mall is kind of geared toward cheaper, newer people, so that they can come in and get supplies that they need without really breaking the bank. There are a ton of vendors here. I even have one back here for cheap smuggler supplies. And let's see, let's get a starter weapon. Oop, no weapons on that. I believe this guy has weapons. Yeah, here we go. Let's get a survival knife. So as you can see, my survival knife here only does 9 to 17. That's the game generated one. This is a crafted survival knife. It's 31 to 180. So significant boost. So this is going to help me. Oh, I don't have enough money. Oh, so you do have to have the money in a bank to buy from a vendor. So let me go and do that real quick. So, all right, and then we're just gonna go back and grab this sword. So that's kind of the basics. You can just jump in and play. As always, there's Galaxy Chat. If you have any questions, just either join the Discord. You can find Gremlin on Discord and send him a message if you don't know what you're doing. I'll help you out. Or just type in Galaxy Chat, say, "Hey, I need help," and someone's gonna help you. But that's it. I hope you guys enjoy Stardust. And again, my name was Gremlin. So good luck.